Hi, good morning. This is Matthias Chang once again from Future Fast Forward. Today will be the first of a few addresses which I want to share with you on what we call counter propaganda. Alright, this is the first in a series of counter propaganda. It is very important you understand propaganda technologies, methodologies, and content, and counter propaganda methodologies, technologies, and content. Why? It's because right now we are in a very intense life and death struggle between the riot of Malaysia, putting Malaysia first on one hand, and the criminal Najib regime putting their self-interest first on the other hand. More so, this topic is relevant is because in a few weeks' time, we're going to have full-scale campaigning for the two by-election, one in Kuala Kangsar and one in Sungai Besar. Even though, in my personal view, they are not really relevant to the overall equation, the power equation, because whoever wins or loses, the end result is that the Najib regime will still be in power. But then, of course, the propaganda post the by-election will be different. But regardless of those future propaganda and counter-propaganda, you, the good people of Malaysia, but more importantly, the activists in those political parties who are now fighting at the political front against the Najib criminal enterprise and regime must understand the basic rules of propaganda and counter-propaganda. Right now, and I must thank the Najib regime as well as PAS for the recent announcement with regard to the by-election in Sungai Besar, Selangor, and Kuala Kangsar in Perak. You will notice that two of them, these two protagonists, are bending backwards to show to the country, or rather to mislead the country, that the main issue before the country is hudud. Nothing else. The issue of punishment, enhanced punishment under hudud to be amended regards to the state enactment or the Sharia law at the state level. And there's a big hula baloo, okay? Hue and cry by everyone in the political divide. But you will recall, and I've said so, at the start of this campaign for the two by-election, that this issue was a red herring, a diversion from the main issue. Alright. So here you have in essence, alright, a political issue that is put in the forefront on the main pages of newspapers, headlines on television and radio, even in the alternative media. Alright. So given this intense propaganda, the first thing for anyone who wants to expose the lies and bring forward the truth, the ugly truth, to the people for their understanding is to ask one simple question. In Latin, it's called qui bono. Q-U-I, qui bono, B-O-N-O. Qui bono. In simple English, who benefits? Who will profit from this falsehood, this lie, this diversion, this red herring? Who benefits? Who will profit? But ask this simple question, you will realize that a person or organization or party in any circumstances will benefit by this diversion. In this case, it will be UMNO and BN on one hand, as well as PAS. Okay? It cannot benefit anyone else, because the whole country, as I said before, the whole country is focused on the criminal actions, the outright lies, misinformation of the Najib regime with regards to the financial raid of our country. And I've been saying that our country has been financially raided by the criminal elements, the criminal enterprise 1MDB, right? The head honchos 1MDB, plus the political masters, has financially raided our country. And they counter initially by giving all kind of excuses. Then, upon advice by the British propaganda chief, they come up with the idea: donation. The money was a donation in the personal account of the Prime Minister. So just pause for a while, right? You have two words: financial rape and donation. Now, a lot of people say to me, when I first wrote my articles and post on the website, and then e-blast throughout the world, they ask me, Matthias, why you use such a harsh word, such graphic word, rape, financial rape of our country? Why do you use the word, he stole money, he cheated? You must tell the truth. Black is black, white is white. You call a spade and nothing else. Why rape? Well, in the physical sense, when a man rapes a woman, what does it mean? It is a violent attack on the person of the woman, violate her dignity, her integrity, violate her consent, which she didn't consent, all right, and ravage her and deny her self-respect, esteem, and integrity, and leave her in total humiliation. That is the physical rape, the crime of physical rape. When you apply to a situation whereby the criminal enterprise and the regime financially rape the country, the same thing happens. It's a violent attack, all right, on the wealth of the country. A violent attack, blatant attack on the integrity of the country, reputation of the country, all right, and self-esteem of the country. Leaving the people, the riot and the country humiliated, lost, confused, and violated. That's why we have to use the appropriate word for the appropriate action. Because if I use the word, the criminal enterprise, what they mean, stole some money. Stealing is a petty crime. He's a thief. Psychologically and subconsciously, you will think that, right? It's not so serious a crime. Because there's a lot of theft going on in the country. Likewise, there are a lot of crimes, right? Assault, robbery. But rape is a very serious crime. So when a criminal enterprise, what MDB, and a criminal regime rape the country financially of billions, 7 billion ringgit, sorry, US dollars, apologize, then it cannot be a theft. It cannot be a crime of stealing or cheating. Outright rape. It's our case in contrast. And as a result of which, they panicked. Because prior to my usage of the word that the country has been financially raped, those people in 1MDB who commit the rape are financial rapists. They don't know how to counter it. Therefore, they use the word donation, because donation invokes the feeling of generosity, empathy, kindness, charitable acts in order to deflect the harshness of the crime. It's a donation. Soften the blow. So if you fall for that gimmick, and they are trying to push that gimmick, all right, the financial rapists, then you have been misled into believing that it's not a crime. The proceeds are not haram, it's halal, but safe. Can you see now? Okay, so this is one example, one illustration how you can counter propaganda. You can counter lies by telling the truth and the ugly truth. Because truth is always ugly. More so if the truth involves the financial rape of a country and of our people. And when they do that, is first, the aim of propaganda is to subvert your mind. Okay? And rape you mentally, psychologically. Because once you are raped psychologically, mentally, emotionally, all right, you're traumatized. That's why some of the things they're doing is not only financially rape our country, but more importantly, to mentally rape you of your thinking power, your consciousness, to a very subtle repetition of the word donation, caring government, all right? The government cares for the people. All this rubbish, okay? On the part of the past, in promoting Hooded in the way it was promoted, is to spiritually rape you from what is genuine, what is truthful, and what is blasphemy, and untruthful ideas or ideology. It is right. This is very important. Right? And of the two organizations, UMNO is more dangerous. BN is more dangerous. Why? Because they are in power. They have all the resources, okay, to deploy to financially rape you, but more importantly, mentally and psychologically rape you. Right? So propaganda, okay, is simple. It's the mental psychological rape of the target audience. You, your wife, your children, your sisters, your brothers, your father and mother, leaving you crippled and not able to think objectively. Bear this in mind. This is the essence of propaganda. And therefore, when we counter propaganda, we must therefore use language that leaves no ambiguity, no two meaning, stark, truthful, right, to the point, to hit the target. Okay? And quite often, in propaganda, this information, there are a lot of facts which can be true. For example, he received money in his account. That's a fact. 2.6 billion. Okay? He agreed. He received 2.6 billion in his account. Fact. We say the same thing. He received 2.6 billion in his account. Alright? But he says the lie is donation. Can you see? Within the factual matrix, which is truthful, factual, accurate, he extracts the propaganda value, the disinformation value that is a donation as opposed to financial rape. You understand now? Alright? Very straightforward. Bear that in mind. That's step one. Now step two is this. Okay? You will notice throughout 2 years of this campaign, the chief honcho of the rape, of the financial rape of our country, remains silent. And he uses other people to bombard you. For example, Ismail Sabri, as the leader, Salim Roab, Nazri, Rahman Dalan, Ahmad Maslan, All these people coming on, all right, challenging, strident languages, even to a fist fight, okay? So as to confuse you as to who should be the main target. Of course, the ultimate target is Najib, but these are his barking dogs. Bark here, bark there, now and then, sometimes low profile, high profile, sometimes intense, also intense, is to create noise, confusion. But then, some people say, Matthias, we shouldn't respond or go down to the level of their nonsense. That's incorrect. Because when they attack at any level in my propaganda war, you must counter-attack to show that we are not intimidated, we will not be diverted, misguided, or, more importantly, taken in by the propaganda. So therefore, when we go to that level of gutter politics, we don't go to the level. But what we do, when we counter those gangster politicians, gangster politics, right? We call it for what they are. Scumbags. Okay? Scumbags. Alright? That's cut very well. Don't have to talk too long. Don't use the time, right? Using a lot of phrases. Scumbag, gangster politicians, criminals. And they are a criminal gang. Okay? Because once these guys have been labeled correctly as scumbags, gangsters, criminals, they can't hide anymore. They have to retreat. If they refuse to retreat, we keep pounding and pounding and pounding until they submit. And when they retreat, then it's clear. The focus will be back on the main guy, that is Najib, their leaders. Okay? That's why in Chinese, right, when someone adopts such a propaganda tactic, using barking dogs to bark now and then, making all the noises, and even threatening, right, with imprisonment, fist fights, the leader who deploys these forces is a weak leader. He's not a strong leader. Alright? He employs and deploys running dogs, barking dogs to do the dirty work. Okay? In Chinese, in Cantonese, this is a tactic called Jie Do Sat Yan. Jie is borrow. In Cantonese, Do is a knife. Sa is kill. Yan is human being, a person. So Jie Do Sat Yan. Pinjam, pisau untuk membunuh target. Okay, because that leader dare not do that. So he divert and employ his barking dogs. So Jie Do Sat Yan. So if they Jie Do Sat Yan, get assassins to do the dirty work, we have to confront and defeat those assassins first. And when those assassins are defeated, those scumbags, gangsters, political assassins are defeated, then he'll be left naked. It's like a chair with 4 legs. You cut off the legs, and the chair will fall off. This is a very important concept for you to understand as to when and how we counter them. Okay? And when they are fully defeated and nowhere to run, let me tell you, they will be rats. Okay? Running away from the sinking ship. And if they change and come over to our side, then we give them redemption. But compromises, right, can only be made up to a certain point, at a certain time. Alright? When they are defeated, when the ship is sinking, and they are running away from the ship, we will just save those who can be saved. Those who can't be saved, alright, we let them drown in their shit. The cesspool of shit. So it's very important, okay? In propaganda warfare, where do we compromise? When do we give and take? At the beginning of the struggle, no way can there be any compromise. It must be a total defeat of these scumbags, criminals, gangsters, and financial rapists. Okay? Now, if you don't believe me that propaganda is a very important weapon to mislead, Let me explain to you, right? Okay? This is the picture, okay, of the former head of CIA, William Casey. And I want you now slowly read those words which the camera is zooming into it. Alright? Read carefully. What did he say about this information and propaganda? Okay? You got it? So let me read to you again. We will know this information program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. So, here is CIA. Propaganda. He tells lies and lies and lies, couched in truth. When all Americans believe those lies and say and accept it's the truth, they have succeeded. Likewise, Najib and his barking dogs keep on saying, I'm innocent, I'm not criminal. 1MDB is not a criminal enterprise. This regime is not corrupt, it's clean. He serves the people. Bullshit, horseshit. Right? Because those are lies. And if people believe those lies, as right now, the leaders of UMNO, Supreme Council, then to that extent, that lie has become truth and been accepted. That's why it's so important we keep on countering those lies. That's why I said in my previous speech to members of UMNO, if you receive any money from those crooks, gangsters, financial rapists during the last election, and you don't know the money is haram, you have not sinned. You have not committed any crime. Kalau tidak tahu duit itu haram, tak berdosa, tak salah, tidak jenayah. That's the point. Okay? But they, in the propaganda, tells you, alright, on one level, hey, if you say this money is haram, you took it. Therefore, we are collectively responsible. Playing on the negative. On the positive, it's only a donation, you see. Either way, he wins. How smart. That is a propaganda. But now, we can count it. When you receive this money, you don't know it's haram. You cannot commit a crime. You have not committed a sin. It's not a donation. It's a rape. That's why they realize they are back to the wall. They can't run. They have to divert the issue to hudud. Okay? And the best joke is this. I must thank, alright, the Barisan Nasional and UMNO. Just recall, out of the blues on the last day of Parliament, as the leader, alright, allowed hardy motion for hudud to leapfrog 15 other items, more urgent items of the government agenda. And then, of course, right, the monyet from MCA, Gerakan, MIC, jump and say, wow, we must protest, this is unconstitutional, it's infringing our rights, blah, 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 play acting. Okay? And then Azalina says, oh my God, actually, Najib, the Prime Minister, Zahid, the Deputy Prime Minister, instructed me to leapfrog the motion. Therefore, it's clear, isn't it? When I said, before this was announced by Azalina, this whole thing is a charade, it's a diversion, it's a red herring. For the by-election, away from the main issue of the financial rape. Therefore, UMNO agrees with the bill, supports the bill of pass of Hadi. But they bayakulit. They tell the people, oh, we're not against it. It's Hadi's bill. Then why did Najib and Zahid directed Azalina to leapfrog. Alright? This is the truth. It's a lie, red herring. And more importantly, this woman, this scoundrel, this woman, liar, okay, mislead, alright, she is the head of Wanita MCA, Datuk Heng Siai Ki. You know what she said? And this is a cause of all the hatred and anger between the Malay Muslim community and the Chinese non-Muslim community. She says, okay, and I'm going to read the word to you. Why she is banging the bloody drum, making all thunder no noise? Why Liao Tiong Lai says we will resign from the cabinet? All this hoo-ha, all right, all this nonsense is this. I quote to you as reported. One MCA chief Heng Siang Ki believes that UMNO hands are tied on this issue due to religious consideration. Due to this scenario, she said, BN parties such as MCA, Gerakan, MIC had to step up to take the plate. As too sensitive for UMNO to oppose, it is thus left to BN communal parties to do the check and balance to safeguard the spirit of moderation of a beloved country. In a press statement, can you imagine? What it means this: UMNO don't have the guts, Najib don't have the guts, the least UMNO have the guts to oppose hudud. Even though they know it's wrong, even though they know that Hadith hudud is not genuine, is not the truth, it's not true Islam. But because they're so bankrupt intellectually, so bankrupt spiritually, they don't oppose Hadith. Because if they oppose Hadith without concrete rational thinking, alright, they can be exposed as so-called kafir. And because they're intellectually bankrupt, they ask this China woman, this China white, head of Wanita, Liao Tong Lai, and all the people, go and fight against PAS. Okay? So again, it's an example of Ceto Sakya. UMNO using the China white in MCA, assholes, idiots, scumbags, to fight a battle on behalf of UMNO, thereby arousing the hate, anger of Malays and Muslims, thinking it's the Chinese who are attacking Islam, who are not sensitive to Muslims, who don't understand Islam. But by this statement, she exposed that UMNO wants to do that. Want the other component parties of BN to do that. So are you surprised now the Malays hate the Chinese and the non-Muslims and accusing them of interfering in the right of Muslims to practice the religion? So who benefited it? UMNO. Therefore, UMNO can get Malay votes in Sungai Besar and Kuala Kangsar because they'll be seen as right, supporting Islam. To hell with the Chinese. Okay? Chinese can go to hell. So it is basically two parties, PAS and UMNO, fighting for the Malay votes using Islam hudud as excuse to divert the whole thing from the truth, the main issue with our country. That our country is broken, our economy is going down the tubes, down the drain, we are suffering under GST, inflation, alright, and rape. And yet, Liao Tong Lai, in a little statement, says, alright, he has talked to the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister has assured him everything is okay. Alright? And then attack DAP. Look, I know this man, Liao Tong Lai, okay? He's a nice guy, I know. Okay? But he has no backbone. I'm sorry to say. I know him. His resignation or threatened resignation of big cabinets all by colleague, okay? He knew it wouldn't happen. He knew it wouldn't happen. So why you do that? Alright? He has sacrificed the integrity of the Chinese people, Rakyat, as the sacrificial lamb to protect UMNO, the bunch of scumbag in MKT, Najib and Zahid Hamidi. So please, to my Malay friends, my Muslim friends, do not be misled and attack the Chinese people. Okay? But always attack MCA, but not the Chinese people, because the Chinese community appreciates and respects Islam, as I do. Alright? We respect Sharia law as I do. But these scumbags, these political charlatans, gangsters, has portrayed that we, especially the Chinese non-Muslims, right, are totally against, who don't have no respect for Islam or insensitive. And guess what? Remember the other day, Liao Tonglai says, alright, there'll be a cabinet meeting and BN will explain and brief all BN parties on the Hudud, right? Bill. You recall my last speech I said, right? Why the urgency, why the, why Kulit, when Hadi himself said the matter is postponed to October sitting. Okay. It's only a motion before Parliament. There's no debate, there's no, nothing at all. Okay? But to keep the issue alive, they then say there will be a special briefing, alright, to BN parties. And now what happened? Yesterday, UMNO briefing to Barisan Nasional partners on past bill to enhance the Sharia Court's punitive powers has been postponed indefinitely. Tango! Why? Because UMNO realized after my exposure, alright, they're all telling lies. How can they explain? They support Hudud. If they explain, how do they explain? They have leapfrogged the bill. How can they say they don't support Hudud? So they realize they're caught between the devil and the deep blue sea, and they're not retreat. Again, an example of propaganda, disinformation, and misinformation. Okay? So, what you have to do is now very simple. Okay? Third point, okay, for you to remember is always, sometimes, when you're doing counter propaganda, you don't have to talk too much. In fact, most effective is to ask questions, okay? Ask questions. Ask what we call loaded questions, okay? Which give everyone the opportunity to think and to know the truth. Very simple. I'll give you an example. Okay? Ask yourself and your families and all the rakyat who's voting in the Sungai Besar and Kuala Kangsar by election. Is Najib and the leaders of UMNO, MKT and Barisan Nasional, common parties, honest or dishonest? Jojo atau tidak jojo? Simple. Don't give the answer. They will know. Have faith in the right or no. I can able to distinguish between honesty and dishonesty. Okay? I hope you will go on your campaign and ask people this question. Second, simple. Ask, are the leaders scumbags, greedy or not greedy? Cash is king. Remember the slogan? Alright? So these are the people. Ask them the question. Don't give them answer, ask them. Because when they answer to you that they are greedy, that means we have won. Their propaganda has not succeeded. Okay. Next one. Ask them, are these leaders good leaders or bad leaders? Simple. Okay? Let me assure you, the right will reply. These are scumbags, gangsters, criminals, rapists. Guarantee you. Okay? Just ask these 4 questions. Last one. Are our leaders strong leaders or weak? Because if they are strong, we will not have all this nonsense. Our country won't be collapsing. Okay? Our economy won't be collapsing. There won't be rape. Right? There won't be GST. So it's very simple. Ask the people these 4 basic questions. Okay? I repeat, first one is, are they good leaders or bad leaders? Strong leaders, are they strong leaders or weak leaders? Alright? Strong leaders, good leaders or bad leaders? Not greedy or greedy leaders? Honest or dishonest leaders? So therefore, may I invite you, those who are in a campaign on the 2 by-elections, these are 4 basic questions you ask, okay? And please have the confidence that a right is very intelligent. The other thing you must ask, because, right, we all have names, okay? Label is very important. Labeling in propaganda. Why? Because when you're in front of a television, you see a lot of advertisements, right? What do? Every day you see the same advertisement, right? And you watch the whole 3 minutes or 5 minutes of the advertisement. And it's repeated day in, day out until it's tattooed in your mind. This product is good, that product is not good. This product is effective, that product is not effective. This is propaganda. Advertisement is propaganda, but more subtle, to sell goods. In politics, the same thing must be applied. Okay? So, then you ask people, what words reflect accurately the leaders of the Najib regime? Okay? Scumbags, sleazeballs, or decent people, nice fella. Simple. Okay? You're either scumbags, sleazeballs, or they're okay people, decent people. Are they intelligent and clever, or stupid or clueless? High ideals and principles, or hollow opportunists? Okay? These are the questions you must ask. Okay? These words very important. Who they are, what they are. Are they selfless, putting Malaysia first? Or are they selfish and self-interest first? Not corrupt, pro-riot, or financial rapists and hardcore political opportunists? Can you see clearly? Okay? So very simple. These are the keywords. In all propaganda, you must focus on keywords. Alright? This is the first basic lesson on counter-propaganda. Okay? Now some of you say, right, Matthias, we can't speak like you, we don't have the courage, we don't have the ability or the means to do it. Simple. I just showed to you. You can easily ask your son to reproduce all these things, right, from the laptop, iPhone, where? And then share with your family, relatives and friends. Okay? That's all. That doesn't need courage. You can do within your house, alright? Among your friends. If each one of you can spread the word to 10 other people, and let each one spread to 10 other people, the multiply effect will go into hundreds of thousands. Okay? Use these simple words. Okay? Simple concept. Okay, let me write. Selfless and put Malaysia first, or selfish self-interest, not corrupt, pro-riot, or financial rapists, okay? Political scumbags, hardcore con artists. Are they intelligent or clever? Or are they downright stupid or clueless? Do they have high ideals and principles? Or are they empty, hollow opportunists? Simple, eh? If they are scumbags, call them scumbags. If they are good people, call them good people. You decide. So far, you should know it, whether the leadership of UMNO, Barisan Nasional, the Najib regime, are scumbags, good people. Okay? Now, I know all of you, right, find it hard that there's such thing as propaganda. Okay? Let me tell you this. My last point to show to you, and I've been saying, right, on the second day of September 11, when so-called plane crashed in the Twin Tower of New York, when President Bush says, Al-Qaeda, the terrorists, Muslims attacked the Twin Tower, I say it's bullshit, it's a lie, it's a propaganda. Bin Laden was not responsible for the attack on 9/11. Why? I said that because if he was the one who attacked 9/11, on 9/11, the Twin Towers, he would be the most wanted terrorist by all the criminal investigation organizations in the world, CIA, FBI. And I can guarantee you, within a week of the attack on September 11, the Twin Towers, alleged by Bin Laden and Al-Qaeda, and everyone says they are the most wanted terrorists, on the official website of the FBI, Bin Laden was not even classified as the most wanted terrorist for the September 11 attack. And to prove that I'm right, years later, this is a picture of the former foreign minister of Britain, Robin Cook, who died 2 weeks after making a speech in Parliament, exposing there was no such thing as Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda, the concept, is a fraud. Okay? Google this. Now let me read to you before I conclude. There is no Al-Qaeda. Robin Cook, former British Foreign Secretary. The truth is there's no Islamic army or terrorist group called Al-Qaeda. Any informed intelligence officer knows this. But there is a propaganda campaign to make the public believe in the presence of an identified entity representing the devil only, in order to drive TV watchers like you to accept a unified international leadership for a war against terrorism. The country behind this propaganda is the US. Okay? So when I first say that there's no such as Al-Qaeda, it's a propaganda by CIA, by US and UK. Everybody says, Matthias, you're gila lah. Now, the former foreign minister has admitted this is so. Okay? And this has been confirmed by the head of the CIA Bin Laden unit, okay, who says that there is no Al-Qaeda. It's a propaganda ploy to launch a war of terrorism and to arouse anger against Muslims. Okay? So I hope when I show you this picture, these two pictures, I have able to convince you the effect and the objective of propaganda. This one shows William Casey, former CIA director, who says that the main tool to subvert your mind, to rape your mind, is this information, propaganda. And if you believe all the lies and accept as truth, they have won. This one is a clear example of what William Casey says, Robin Cook. How to today Muslims believe in Al-Qaeda. And likewise, ISIS in Syria, in Iraq, is a construct of the USA, UK, intelligence services, and financed by Saudi Arabia. Okay? Wahhabism is a blasphemy. It's a virulent, okay, cult doctrine. Does not represent truth, real Islam. Okay? So, you must understand now, and I hope with this first in a series of video seminars, you have a better understanding of what is at stake and how it's so simple to counter this propaganda. Remember, call a spade, black is black, white is white. No grey when it comes to this kind of war. No grey. Financial rapists, not donation. Scumbags, not decent fellows. Okay? Rapists, not petty theft. Alright? Insincere, not sincere, or sincere. Selfish, selfless. The riot put Malaysia first. These idiots, these scumbags, they are so rich, they've ripped the country. With that, I thank you for your attention. Please watch this video over and over again. And like I said, please surrender to the will of God. Have absolute faith that He will defend you, protect you, and guide you under all circumstances. In the face and church of all adversities and enemies, we will prevail and we will win. That I'll show you. Join me in this propaganda warfare against the criminal enterprise and the Najib regime. Thank you and have a good day.